They say love makes you do crazy things. For me, it meant leaving my life in the city, my career, my friends, everything, for a man who promised me a simple, happy life on his farm in Missouri. I thought our love was the strongest thing in the world, until the day I watched him choose another woman. And he didn't even choose her, really. He chose the basket of dirt she was stealing from us. This is the story of how I learned that sometimes your greatest sacrifice is someone else's the smallest convenience. So tell me, audience, if it was all for love, would you choose the bright lights of city life or the quiet peace of country life? Drop your answer in the comments. My name is Sarah. 3 years ago, I was working a corporate job in St. Louis, living in a neat little apartment that smelled of coffee and ambition. Then I reconnected with Irvin at a family wedding. He was my cousin, a childhood friend I'd lost touch with. He was different, grounded. He ran his family's soybean farm in the Bootheel region of Missouri, near the Mississippi River. Where I was all hustle and noise, he was quiet strength. When he asked me to marry him and build a life with him on the farm, I said yes without a second thought. My friends thought I was insane, trading brunch for breakfast at 4 a.m., suits for coveralls, but I didn't care. Irvin's love felt like the most solid thing I'd ever known, more solid than the Missouri clay itself. Life was hard, but beautiful. I learned to can vegetables, to check the weather, not for my outfit, but for the crops. Our world was our land, our tractor, the old shed he promised to turn into a library for me one day. I felt like a pioneer. As long as I had Irvin's hand to hold at the end of the day, the isolation, the blisters, the loneliness, it all felt worth it. I thought we were a team, a unit. Until the afternoon, everything changed. It was late July. The air was so thick and hot you could taste it. I was hanging laundry on the line behind the house when I saw them. 2 women from a neighboring property, Shay and Becky. They were at the edge of our field, right by the irrigation ditch, filling up old feed sacks with dark, rich soil from our land. It wasn't about the dirt, it was the principle. They hadn't asked. In the country, that matters. I walked over, trying to sound friendly but firm. "Hey, ladies, you mind? That's our topsoil. We need it." Becky looked sheepish, but Shay just straightened up, wiping her forehead with the back of her hand. She had a defiant glint in her eye I didn't like. "Oh, relax, city girl. There's plenty of dirt to go around. Ain't like you're using this patch for anything." Her words stung. I was always the city girl to them, an outsider playing house. "It's not yours to take. Please put it back." Shay scoffs. "Or what? You gonna call the manager?" That's when I heard the tractor engine cut off. Irvin was walking towards us, his frown furrowed. Relief flooded me. My husband, he'll handle this. I rushed over to him. "Irvin, they're taking our soil. I asked them to stop, and she got smart with me." I expected him to stand beside me, to assert, calmly but firmly, that this was our land. Instead, he looked past me at Shay, and a slow, easy smile spread across his face. "Irvin, come on now, Shay. Getting my wife all riled up again? Just needed some good dirt for my flower bed, Irv. Your wife here thinks it's solid gold." "Well, hell, don't strain yourself carrying it." He walked right past me. He picked up one of the heavy, dripping wet sacks of our soil and hoisted it onto Shay's shoulder with a laugh. "There you go. You need help getting the rest back to your place?" I stood there, frozen. The Missouri sun beat down on me, but I felt cold. He wasn't defending me. He was laughing with her, at me. He was carrying their stolen dirt for them. I watched him walk with them towards the property line, chatting easily with Shay like I didn't exist. That sack of dirt on her shoulder felt like it was crushing my heart. In that moment, I knew. This wasn't about dirt. It was about respect. And mine had just been weighed on a scale and found worthless. The man who came back from that field wasn't my husband. A wall went up. He was distant, cold. He started spending evenings fixing fences or checking on the far field. He'd come home smelling of cheap beer and a perfume that wasn't mine. The silence in our house grew louder than any argument. One night, a month later, I couldn't take it anymore. I confronted him at the kitchen table. "Irvin, what's going on? Is it Shay?" He didn't even look up from his coffee. "We have an understanding." "An understanding? What does that mean?" "It means I'm a man with needs, and I have a right to be happy. If you don't like how I choose to live on my land, Sarah, the highway back to St. Louis runs both ways." His land. The words were a final, brutal shovel of dirt on the grave of our marriage. There was no us anymore. There was him and his land and his rights. I was just the city girl in the way. I packed a bag that night. He didn't try to stop me. I stayed with my sister for a month, trying to piece myself together. Part of me, the stupid, hopeful part, thought he'd come to his senses, that he'd call and beg me to come home. He never called. Finally, I decided to go back, to fight for my marriage, for the home I'd built. I drove the long, flat highway south, my heart pounding with a mix of fear and desperate hope. I pulled into the gravel driveway. Everything looked the same. The tractor was there. The laundry line was empty. I walked up to the front door, took a deep breath, and pushed it open. And there she was, Shay, sitting on my couch in my living room, feet tucked under her, watching my TV. She was wearing one of Irvin's old t-shirts. She looked up, not surprised at all. A slow, victorious smile spread across her face. Shay smirking, victorious. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Irvin's in the barn. I didn't need to see him. The message was clear. He hadn't just chosen her over me. He had installed her. I had been erased, replaced, as easily as you'd replace a broken tool. I turned around without a word, got back in my car, and drove away. I didn't look back. I learned a hard lesson on that farm. Love isn't about the grand sacrifices you're willing to make. It's about the value the other person assigns them. I gave up my entire world for him. He couldn't even give me his loyalty over a basket of dirt. I wasn't just less important than another woman. I was less important than the soil she walked on. And that's a price no one should ever have to pay. So tell me, was leaving the right choice? Or should she have stayed and fought for her home? Share your thoughts in the comments below.